Wow.
I'm speaking here today with Christian Zehnder from Switzerland. He performed the last 2 nights, very inspiring performances, here in Yerevan, Armenia. On Friday night, he performed at the Armenia Art Fair, the first ever. And then last night, you were the closing concert at the Are Performing Arts Festival. After being here for a long weekend, what is your impression of Armenia?
When I'm honest, I was very surprised because in Switzerland they think a little bit different about Armenia. It's a poor country and it's dangerous, and the most of the people, they leave Armenia when they want to keep in touch in culture. And for me it was, I feel very comfortable and safe here, and the people are very, very open. When you search to come to new things in art also, I think it's very good for me to connect people, to connect regions like that, and to be impressed and to be maybe to come to new ideas.
Yes, yes.
To be inspired. I'm Christian Zehnder. I'm a singer, not a normal singer. I study classic voice and the jazz voice. I grew up in Switzerland. I'm a real Swiss guy, but very connected to the mountains and also to the tradition. But my way in music and to discover new music is to be always in contact with my roots.
In fact, you have a project called Ecotopus.
First, I have to explain that we have an old tradition from the farmers. They live high up in the mountains. And before the Christianism, there was a kind of magic connection to the nature with ghosts and all that spiritual form. And from that time, there is a kind of singing style, kind of pray. And every night the farmers high up on these Alps, they took, before they go to sleep, they took a while to scream and to sing into the landscape, into the mountains, into the echoes, and pray and be grateful and say thank you to the ghosts and to the nature for being safe. The most important word is pyet, and that means protect me.
Yes, protect us from everything bad and dark.
And then they try a little bit to sing about the problems they have, and to give it to the nature, and to hope the nature will help.
Yes.
The ghost will help. And the interesting thing is, it's not only one on Alp, there is another one there, on another Alp, and there is another one there, another one there. And everybody's singing every night, and at the end they have like a circle of singing. And if the circle is closed, if everyone has sung his pray, they are saved. It's like a magic circle, you know. Actually, there are still farms that do that, and the young people, they're more and more interested to do it again in a little bit modern, more modern way. And I think it's. I'm very happy that this culture comes back, because this is really basic. You are really come in touch with yourself and with the landscape. And for me, as a singer, it's a kind of the beginning of singing. You know, there is the essential thing, why I'm singing, or there is the prey, there's the communication about the valleys, because the other farmers lives on the other side of the valley, and you need 4 hours to meet him. So you start to sing, to make a conversation. And also the landscape in Switzerland, in the mountains, is a kind of cathedral, a kind of architecture there, and you have a resonance. So your voice will come back in different ways in the echo. And so for that is also my project, Ecotopos, that I created, is a research of the beginning of actually of singing, of really go back to the moment of the birth of all what I do, actually, of my culture also.
We are oh! We were oh!
I created this project, Ecotopos, like an art project, and at the end it will be like a sound sculpture. So there is a map, people can go to the mountains and discover the echo points, and they can sing and try out and speak with the nature. Or even they can also find echo points, and they can be a part of the sculpture.
Yes, I've gone online and heard some of those. They're really wonderful.
And it's interesting that Switzerland and also Germany and the other countries, they're very interested in this project. And the funny thing is that the people, they live high up the mountains, they're not interested, because it's here, it's
what we do.
It's everyday, it's everyday life. But all the people, they come from town, and so they are very fascinated, because it's something mystic there. It's something spiritual. It's also of the philosophic also.
Yes.
When you sing or you scream into the mountains and something comes back, then you realize I am.
Yes.
I exist. And so for me, it's a project that's really personal. It has nothing to do with that I want that this project is very big or something. It's really a thing that it's a part of my life. Mm-hmm. This kind of why I'm going to visit the mountains, why I stay for 3-4 weeks there,
Nice.
Be in connection.
Mm-hmm. So your whole life project involves going back, and speaking of going back in your life, I know that you have described a sort of breakdown as a young adult when you suffered a speech disorder, which made it difficult for you to even find words and to read. How did that experience lead to your life work?
Of course, it was a door opener. It was so essential, and I have to do the work to come back to language, to communication. And in that time, after these attacks, the brain attacks, I discovered the yodeling, because I was able to yodeling, but the yodeling, the letters of the yodeling, hayolo, hodi, yoduli, so they are a little bit like before you speak, before language, you know. It's not nothing, but they're not words. So I felt that, with this kind I can't express myself. Mm-hmm. There's a reason. And for that I found, it's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yodeling can be very interesting too, because it's just before the language. And I had problems when I sung or when I had to sing with notations and so on. I had always breakdowns. And so I really stopped with classic singing because for 2-3 years I was not able to sing any partiture or something. But actually it was my chance for discover my universe, you know, my very personal way to express myself. And from this point I didn't use any more words. And when I use words like in the concert here, in this play, it's programmatic, there is something, but it's very precise then what every word has is a big sign, you know. It's very important. So, and yes, at the end it was a chance. I guess every kind of sickness is you can turn off.
An obstacle that sort of opened the door to the mountains, so you could walk out. And you even found yodeling in Africa and other places?
Yeah, it was quite important because at that time when I grew up, when I was 20 and a student, the young musicians, they were not interested in Swiss traditional music. And so the young people said, oh, bah, this music, bah, yeah, really. And they went to Cuba and to Brazil and to Africa, like me. And there I discovered that, yes, it's fantastic music, but they're not my roots. They're not my roots. And then when I went back, I started to make a research in Swiss music and created a project, a very, I say, intellectual project, a performance with a alp horn player, with a wood horn player. And I took only the very essential things from our tradition and created new music, my thinking of Swiss music. And this was, it was just the starting of the career, because the people, they waited for something like that. And yes, it's still my life to sing like that.
You've done some wonderful collaborations with a drummer, a hurdy-gurdy player. You, of course, do a lot of things with overtone singing. Tell us about your latest collaboration.
Yes, first I did this Oloid. This Oloid project was very special because I'm very interested in art. And in my hometown, there was a sculptor, and he discovered this form of Oloid.
He was from your hometown?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Paul Schatz is very close to Rudolf Steiner. And Paul Schatz tried to make something visible, what Rudolf Steiner was thinking, actually, at principle.
That was 1926, the sculpture?
And he discovered a form, like the cube, and the Oloid is really a form, a very, very special form, and a little bit mystical in one way, and connected to a nature principle, and connected to a very interesting thing in mathematics. So, and I took this sculpture, this symbol for having inspiration, for coming in a flow. And I started to create this Oloid with pipes and percussion and electronics. It's quite roots, but quite very, very modern. then we created the project into studio. It was like a composition to compose in studio and to record.
And who is the percussionist?
Gregor Hilbe is a very famous jazz drummer, and he's also the director of Conservatory in Zurich, the jazz district. He's very into roots. It's not only jazz. And so I asked him to do this project together. And we took a third one. This was Matthias Leubner. He's one of the hurdy-gurdy players in the world. But he comes from classic, from compositions. He was a piano player, and he stopped when he was discovering the hurdy-gurdy for save his life for this instrument. And he plays all Paganini, Jimi Hendrix, whatever you want, and he's very also stick into old music, Baroque music and all these things, but also into open music, and he's very interested to tradition also. So we met, and it was like a wedding between us. And also the interesting thing of this instrument is very old and is connected to the modal system, to the vertical system of music. So the overtones are much more important than in the horizontal, in the temperated music. So he has a lot of possibility to connect with my overtone singing or with my natural singing, because I don't sing in the temperated scale.
Yeah, equal temperature.
Also, but my interests are to sing between.
Yes.
To connect to old things for doing new things.
Yes.
One step back to do two steps.
And you have a new collaboration with both of these people?
With Matthias Leubner, I've in 1 week we have a premiere for a duo, but this is duo. It's a concert. It's more improvisation. We have only points where we meet, and the other things are open. And it's like a kind of conversation. It's not jazz, but it's a kind of we sit at the table and we speak. And it was interesting that we also with Gregor Hilbe, once we met the table, a bottle of wine and Campari. We said like that. We just made music for one evening.
See what happens.
See what happens, like a conversation. And I guess this is one of the most wonderful things when you're a musician, when you really can, like a discussion, you're free. It's not pieces, to play pieces. This is also wonderful, but to have a conversation in music.
Yeah.
This is for me.
And you have a background in jazz guitar, and you mentioned John Cherry being very influential.
I really come from jazz music,
Yeah.
but at that time it was not possible to study the jazz voice.
Yeah.
There were two women smoked and they sang a little bit jazz standards, and for me it was not. I needed I was really interested into voice, and so I changed to the classic conservatory, and they took me because I have good ears, but they said you will never be a classic singer. But I think it's very important for me, the classic background. Even I scream and shout, and I don't sing anymore in this style. Behind it's this knowing, and there's a lot of good things in it. But I think they should be more open for connecting the new century we live in music.
Do you have anything else that you would like to bring up, in particular for both musicians trying to find their voice and for audiences trying to find the connection to something new? Anything you would like to say about that?
I'm not a pop singer or a jazz singer or a classic singer. So when you listen to me first, you are a little bit, what's that? But I hope I can create always doors to invite the people that they think after 10-15 minutes, oh, it's natural. It's so, wow, it's nice. Even maybe it's a little bit strange, you know. But I always connect a little bit to jazz, a little bit to classic. There are always possibility to find out, there is the connection. And then it's to sing without words. And we say in Germany, evozieren. You know the word evocation?
Evocation.
When you sing without words, it's not causal logic, it's not logic. You don't understand, it's saying that and that. It's between. But it's not nothing. I tell stories without words. And maybe you had another story, a little bit, and other people has also another story, but they are connected. It's in the same world. For that, I'm not a singer, and I remember I gave a concert in England, in Bath, at the classic jazz festival, and there came a man from a newspaper and wanted also to make an interview. And he came to me and said, "Oh, this was fantastic. It was really it's wonderful. And I've only one question. Please ask me." And I said, "Can you also sing?" You know, because I don't need words. It's not singing.
Yes.
So it's so absurd, but I thought yes.
Trying to coax him out of the door to the mountain. Come on out.
So funny, and it's a little bit essential. It's not singing, but it's singing.
I find it an interesting paradox that you would be classed as new music, but the whole point is you're reconnecting him to what is very old.
Yeah. No, it's very old. It's very archaic.
Yeah.
I'm really connected to the roots, to archaic things. I believe that the nature is the nature. And if some frequencies come together, it's when you listen to a major accord, it will be always wonderful, you know. A minor, it will be always a bit this melancholic or sadness. You can change these archaic things of frequencies. We are tuned in nature. The overtones are a principle of nature frequencies.
And have great healing power.
Yeah. Also, the planets are in this. How do you say, in this relation to the nature, the leaves, the relation of the overtones of the scale, and so we are one, and we can't destroy this. Ein Gesetz. It is like that. You can't change it. You have to accept it.
Go with it.
Yeah. I'm sure that the archaic or the old stuff will be always important. We will always go at new to older things to create new stuff.
And sing it out, and if the farmer doesn't sing it back, then the mountain will. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us, and thank you for your life's work and for your performances here in Armenia. Very lovely.
Maybe in the United States somehow.
Yes.
Who knows?